folks, and welcome again to the Points of Interest DroneCast. Number 14, we've got a great show for you, including an interview with Ken Heron. Can't wait for that. We've got news story. I'm doing one on new hurdles for the delivery drones, and you're doing...
It's a prize product that came out of nowhere from DJI.
Cool. Look forward to that. We got Prak tips, and we got cool drone stuff coming up on this episode. So let's get this show off the ground. Exploring the people, places, and technology in the growing drone industry. This is the Points of Interest DroneCast. And so we're back here with Points of Interest, and we are certainly happy about this show. This is a great show for us. A lot of good information on this show, maybe one of the most exciting interviews I've got a chance to do so far. We have an interview with Ken Heron, and it was a delight to talk to him. I think you know of Ken Heron,
yeah.
right?
He's one of the old school drone YouTuber.
Yeah.
I think he's been around since I started flying drones.
Yeah, a long time.
Yep.
He has over 300,000 subscribers to his thing.
Pretty impressive.
We just wish we had 300 at this point, I think. And he has 1,800 videos. 1,800 videos. He's done some crazy stuff. We'll see some of that in this video interview with him. But he's a DJ. He's a big FPV guy these days. But he's an ambassador to our drone industry, and that's what I really think he does the best. He lives near Nashville. So, hey, let's check out Ken Heron.
All right.
All right, we've got Ken Heron, the famous Ken Heron, with us today. Ken, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on here. I'm glad to be here, and your set is awesome. You're doing it from live at the Improv, clearly.
That's it. The brick wall, Carolines, or Improv. Yep, that's it. So anyway, it is a real thrill to have you. We've been trying to get better and better people, and I think you're the highest so far that we've been able to get on our show, because nobody has more content in the drone world on the internet than you, and I love it. I think you've done such a great job. One of the things, and I'm going to ask you some questions, but I just have to throw some accolades out there for you, especially some of our audience might not know who you are, which is interesting. But I see you're kind of a comedian. You're a drone enthusiast. You're a drone professional. Mm-hmm. You do some drone advocacy, I would think. Is that probably the best way to say? And you're also a radio DJ. And like myself, you also like motorcycles.
I do. I like all those things. I like things that go way fast and way far.
That's cool. Well, let me ask you. So let's go to the very beginning. So when did you get involved in drones?
It was around 2011 or 12.
Yeah.
And I was
story behind it.
I was working at a radio station called the Big Red Barn. It was a country station. I'm not a fan of country music, but it's a beautiful radio station. And I wanted to make a YouTube video where it was featuring the building. I wanted to get it from the air. And the first thing I did was got one of those toy helicopter drones. You know, the toys that it's like a regular helicopter with the blades going in the opposite way.
Right.
And I bought one of those spy cameras, the little keychain, like teeny, and I taped it to it, and it was just a horrible
not even a
thing.
GoPro. This is less than a GoPro.
No, it wasn't even. It was some kind of spy camera. I was like, well, this won't lift much, so I got the cheapest, lousiest camera. Anyway, I was on a mission after that. And my girlfriend at the time, Sarah, she thought she would help me out, and she bought me my first drone. I actually have it still here if you want to see it.
Yeah.
I don't have the girlfriend anymore, but I have the drone.
Well, some things are better.
I keep this around. I haven't flown it in forever.
Uh-huh.
That was the radio station, by the way. And there's flames on the box because this is such a fast drone.
Nice.
It's a Hubsan.
Hubsan. I don't even remember hearing of that.
Oh, yeah. This is just a toy, but, it's non-GPS locked.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a toy. You fly it around. You bump it into something too hard, the props come off.
Sure.
But that's how you learn the pitch, roll, yaw, and throttle of drones. And I did the same thing at the radio station with this. It looked a lot better, but then as I was backing away, it went off into the woods. I couldn't find it. This is the third one. I bought a replacement because I didn't want to hurt her feelings. and let
Sure.
her know that I lost the drone.
You didn't tell her.
And then I lost the replacement too. So
And you
but
lost her
That was
eventually.
really what sparked it for me. Just I wanted to get better and better footage from the air.
Mm-hmm.
And once I was flying with better drones,
Sure.
that's it.
We have kind of a museum of drones here. We've got M600, one of the 6-prop, large, huge ones.
Yeah.
We've got the original Parrot drone. Do you remember the Parrot drone? There was a styrofoam, and it flew with your phone. And then we've got an original DJI #1 Phantom that you had to put a GoPro on. You didn't have any kind of understanding where you were, but you did have a GoPro on it, so it was better.
So it's a Phantom 1 with the LiPo battery.
Yeah,
Non-intelligent battery on it.
Exactly.
I've never flown one of those. The first drone
Asher,
I got,
bring that over to me. I'm right behind you.
the first Phantom I got was a Phantom 2.
Uh-huh.
And I got it.
And that was a much better drone. That
better,
one
but
you
it
could
had-
actually.
Let me see yours.
Yes. Okay, so here's the first one, and pretty simple, and it had a little, the GoPro gadget to go right here.
Yeah, who needs a gimbal?
That's right.
Wussies.
And look at these professional propellers. This is really, this is something. This
That is
kind of
that's
fun.
a museum piece.
Yeah.
It's a wall hanger for sure.
Exactly. And then we got some better ones around too nowadays.
Ooh.
But that's
jealous.
a Matrice. Yeah, well, I saw where you crashed one of those 210 Matrice with a friend one time, didn't
All
you?
right, thanks for having me. Bye-bye.
Oh, this guy. No, you've had some fun. That's what I love about you. And then, if you can't enjoy and kind of have some fun, one of my favorites when you flew yours through the fire, the police were doing like the blow up thing and you melted the props. I mean, classic moments. Classic.
Are we going to show that clip?
I'll be.
Let's show that
pull
clip. After a quick lunch, the bomb squad was ready with our surprise.
Who are you, sir?
I'm Sergeant George Forbes of the Chattanooga Police Department and the Bomb Squad.
What are we doing now?
We're doing our wall of fire.
Wall of fire?
Yes. You'll just have to see it. Seeing is believing.
Can I fly through it?
If you want to risk it.
I'm gonna risk it for that biscuit. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Yeah! I went right through that!
Ken, they just told you your drone is melted.
It's not melted. It's indestructible. Oh no! Oh no!
It doesn't look good.
Melted a couple of others.
Oh yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I say it'll still fly with those props. What do you think, Jason?
I think this is against Part 107.
Oh, is this machoism?
Yeah.
Well, hold my beer. Oh, it sounds good. You're great.
Oh, that was a heck of a day that was.
Wasn't that good? I love
my
that.
God.
I could watch that and you getting chased by a police dog any day. That was fun stuff as well. And you're the only person in the world that gets invited because of your notoriety in the business to come do that. And I think that's, again, just says what you're about. You're just the guy to make that fun.
It really is a privilege to be able to go do these wacky things.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really have a lot of fun doing it. I hope it shows in the YouTube videos because, after all, flying and drones is supposed to be fun.
That's right.
Here lately, it seems like there's a lot of doom and gloom and, I'm going to sell all my drones and the government is doing this and blah, blah, blah. I just, once in a while I will, and I'm a drone advocate.
Mm-hmm.
I try to be a good ambassador.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody that puts these videos out is like, oh, this sucks. I hate it. I'm selling all my stuff.
Right.
Just
right.
I'm going to have fun until I absolutely cannot. Until government man comes to my door and takes my stuff from me, I'm going to continue to have fun with drones because that was the original intention.
With your permission, I would love to play, maybe not this show, but another time, the guy you had on a couple of weeks ago who talked, really the only person I've ever heard that made sense about how this drone stuff is really going to come down, kind of grandfathered in, and how they'll have to pass the new security tests if they produce anything new, right? That's kind of basically how it seemed to be told.
That's Ryan LaTourette.
Okay.
And I'll give you his
him
email to put in the
comments
description
here
for this video. If people need it, he's a great guy. He's not a lawyer, but he's a de facto drone lawyer because he knows who to contact. If you have trouble with a drone, if somebody shoots your drone down, some Karen is giving you bunk, call him.
He's got a call?
He can sort it out. And I'm also going to give you, if you don't mind, a link to where you can send him some money because he uses his own money to fight these battles and all these precedent-setting legislations that he's involved with.
We will do that. As a matter of fact, I was going to send some money in your name to Zoe to get her to crash the castle.
Oh yeah, that's great. Yeah. I'll send you all those links if you need them.
Yeah. I think that's a great opportunity.
Yeah, she's awesome. And do you fly FPV?
I have the AVATA 2. Is that really? That's my FPV, and I'm learning to get it off the training wheels and do some real free flight. But I'm just getting there slowly.
Anytime you fly a drone that can go beyond, that can flip or that can still fly in any direction, acro, any kind of acro. That's absolutely yes. And
I'm having some fun.
If FPV was a drug,
I noticed you are really into the FPV. When I first watched your early stuff, you were flying the older, just GPS drones. But it seems like today you are all about the FPV, aren't you?
I am. I love it. I love it a lot. It's it's next level stuff, and I still fly the other drones as well. People fly for different reasons. If you get a drone for the first time, your first drone, no matter what it is, you get a camera in the air. I mean, whether it's in the goggles or on a tablet, you're like, oh, wow. You remember that the first time, you remember?
Sure.
And you're like, oh, I'm a bird. I'm flying.
Right.
I'm Superman.
Right.
That is what it's all about. And if you move from that to getting into more cinematic stuff and filming for real estate or whatever you want to do, just like beautiful sunsets or whatever, then yeah. But if you want to take it to the next level and get a little bit more acrobatic with it, then get into FPV. But it's all flying. It's like
there's nothing bad.
It's like couch motorcycles versus sport bikes.
Right.
Bikes. I apologize to the couch cycle guys, but you know what I'm talking about.
I am one.
Does your motorcycle have a cup holder?
It does not have a cup holder. No, but it does have a GPS.
Oh yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. What kind of bike you have?
It's a ST 1300 from Honda.
Is it a big one? Like gull wing kind of?
It's what they call a Eurosport. It's kind of got gull wing features, got a full fairing, fairing. Yeah. You could put a radio in it, but I don't have a radio. And then 3 saddlebags behind you, 1 directly behind you, 2 beside you. So it almost has the space of the gull wing, but a little more sporty.
Yeah. I've been riding sport bikes, like super bikes, for ever. That's all I've ever ridden. And at age almost 58, I'm almost aged out of it. Almost. I'll be on the road. Anybody that drives a sport bike, 90% of the time they pop off the helmet. It's some 20-year-old, right?
Sure.
I love getting in with a group of people and they're like, hey, come on in here and talk to us. We got a new bike buddy, right? And I pop off my helmet, it's white hair. I'm like, surprise, bitches. It's an old guy. But this is
I feel we're that way too. Sometimes we show up with drones. There's a lot of young people doing drones and they see us and they're like, wow, this guy's doing drones. It's cool.
That's what I was just about to say. That's the wonderful thing about the drone community is that there are so many personalities and theologies and different political ideologies and what people that you would normally not even talk to or be friends with, you're right there with them because we all have this drone thing in common. Yeah, that is what is so galvanizing and wonderful about the drone community. I'm very proud to be part of that.
And not just it being a hobby and something that we all can enjoy, but it's turning into a changing the business world. I mean, everything from deliveries to what I do with RTK and construction, I can do in 25 minutes what it takes a survey crew on the ground to do in a week, So these things are all changing this amazingly changing things that we all took for granted before.
Oh, absolutely. I feel fortunate to have gotten into drones back in the Wild West days before Part 107 or even 333. You know, I had just gotten my you know what a 333 is, right?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I didn't have. I got my 107 just about when they first started the 107.
Okay, yeah, it's the predecessor to 107, and I had just gone through all the hoops and everything. I'm like, yes, 333, and then they're like, what's that? Oh, all that work I did for nothing? Okay, I'll get a 107 now. But
now, you're an actual pilot too, aren't you?
No. Oh no.
I don't know why I thought. Okay, I thought you did. Well, let's go back to what I asked about first. When was the first time you decided? I'm sure you do a lot of flying before you said, "I'm going to pull a camera out and show me flying." And then, like I say, that kind of turned into goal. What was the impetus for that?
Oh, like YouTube stuff? Being in?
Yeah.
Oh well, I've had a YouTube channel since 2008, I believe. And I started
before your drones.
Before drone stuff.
Okay.
And, you know, people start a YouTube channel and then they get interested in other things. And I let mine sit for a while. And then one day I did a video with the world's most powerful blue laser. At the time, it was 2 watts. You could burn a hole through stuff, you know. And I just went out at night and I was making these sounds like from Star Wars, like, vroom, vroom, vroom. Yeah, hold on.
Right.
Let me see if I have those. There we go.
Oh yeah, Luke, I am your father.
Can you hear that?
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
So I did that, and that video did very well. And I thought, I should probably do more of these. And so I did. And I had a little bit of a following before drones, and then drones came along. But as far as being on camera, I've been on the radio. This is my 40th year in radio. And I've been doing morning shows, and so I'm not shy. And that was a lateral move. It just to go, because I'm used to being on the mic. So
yeah,
you know, I figured
some people have a face for radio and not a face for TV or video. But
I'm not too hideous. Well. I'll try this video thing.
No, what you know, comedy is about timing, and you have that special gift. You know what's funny. You know when to drop a line, and some of that, like the misspelling on the church sign the other week. Oh my gosh, I laughed for a day after that because it's just like that's. Go ahead.
When comedy happens naturally in the wild is the best.
Sure. And you pointed out, I mean, the best comedians, that's all they ever did. Carlin or Seinfeld, they just point out the obvious of what's there. And that puts people into like, oh, that is funny. You know, so
that's the way I look at the world because I have no other skills.
So what's your favorite drone?
Cinematic drone?
You know, if you could only have one.
Oh, if I could only have one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I know. That'd be a tough world, wouldn't it?
That's like asking me what my favorite girlfriend is. If I could only have one. It would have to be an FPV quad because, and the reason why I say that is because I'm good enough now. If I had to use an FPV quad for real estate or whatever, I could do that. If like you said, if I could only have one drone, like I can do I could do anything with the FPV quad.
But you're addicted. You're addicted, aren't you?
And still have fun. Yes, this is my heroin.
Yeah,
it really is. And this is a.
And if I could fly like you guys in full. Acro mode, I would probably have that same problem. I really would. And I'll get there eventually, but most of the money that I make is in programming and cinematic. So
yeah. And your RTK stuff. And I'm sure that drone you have right there, it's got FLIR on it, doesn't it?
It does not have FLIR. This one has the laser and it has the thermal. This is the T30.
Yeah. The thermal. That's what I meant.
Yeah. The T30.
Yeah.
And it's got a laser, and it's pretty cool.
Oh, lasers.
And it's got some cool stuff. My favorite drone for me probably has to be. Oh, there you go, lasers. I've got the Inspire 2, and I've got all of the lenses, and I got the Zimuse 7 and the 5, and I can turn that thing into a regular camera with all the different accessories that I have.
I have an Inspire 2 as well, and I
Mhm.
I don't fly it as much. It just depends. That's again, there's so many different personalities in the drone world. You know, don't
Sure.
listen to me what my favorite drone is. Whatever floats your boat.
No,
Cameras.
no, I'm not
fly.
I'm not asking you what the best drone is in the world because we all have opinions about that. But if you only could have one, what would that be? It's FPV. What brand would you even go with?
Oh, a marmot frame.
Yeah.
The marmot frame is a one piece base, so it's not as fragile.
Can't
as,
break it. Right.
Yeah, I mean a carbon quad. You've seen some of the videos and some of the crashes that I've had. And you just replace the propellers and you're back up again.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
but,
that's cool. That's cool.
It is. It's such a wonderful word. I do hope that you give it a shot.
Sure. Now, I always thought you lived near Nashville because I saw so many great places that you flew near Nashville. But you told me you don't live right in Nashville. But where's your favorite place to fly?
Anywhere new.
Oh, that's a great answer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because once you've flown it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I have places that I go back to time and time again.
It's kind of like the girlfriend situation.
Yes, anything new, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the way of the caveman. You drag a new one back to the cave by her hair.
That's right. It's always more exciting.
Yeah.
There you go. And I didn't ask you, what kind of motorcycle do you have?
It's a 2005
Mm-hmm.
Kawasaki ZX-10R.
Okay.
It's a leader bike, and it's an 05. If you know anything about motorcycles, it's completely analog and a track bike. No ABS, none of that stuff. They nicknamed it the Widowmaker. And my mom, who is 81, I try not to let her know that I'm out on it, but her nickname for it is the damn thing. She says, "Ken, you're not out on that damn thing again today, are you?" Because it's tried to kill me a few times.
Oh, I'm sure. They all will. I've had a bike since I was 16, and I'm very fortunate. I've never taken a hard fall. So knock on wood. But anyway, let me ask you a couple other things. I just want to find out if you wouldn't mind telling us something about MindField, because I'm going to come to MindField this year. I don't care what it takes. Just we get in the car. I'm going to come down. I just sent you one of my buddies here in Richmond just visited on his own. I didn't even know that was kind of a thing, but he went over there when he was in Nashville, and I said, I got to go down there to MindField. I got to see that. It looks too incredible. And I also want to do, and if you want to tell us anything, maybe I should talk to David, but I want to hear more about this castle, Crash the Castle, because both of those are great events coming up in just a month, and I think more people should come.
Absolutely. Castle Crash is like 3 hours after MindField. They're very close. It's like just a matter of a few days. It's in South Carolina. You can go to flyhighfpv.com and find out more about that. I forget how much it is, but it's worth it. If you like the woods and you like drones, this is the place for you.
Is there an actual castle there?
There's a building that looks like a castle. It's an old. The reason why they call it that is because it's held at an old, like a Renaissance fair ground.
Oh, that'd be fun. Sure.
Yeah. So there's going to be, bits of corset and turkey legs lying about. But MindField. That's my event. That's August 24th and 25th. In reality, it'll be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday because people come very early on Friday, the 23rd. So, and you can do that. It is a 100% free event. Yeah. And there's camping. And what it is it's the largest scrap metal sculpture in the United States.
Wow.
This guy named Billy Tripp has been building it since 1986. He is 67 or 8 now. He's built it all by himself. He takes fire towers, cell towers, water towers, big huge chunks of metal. He's got boats. He's got like a tank. The cement mixer metal part is a flower pot. I mean, it's amazing. Go to mindfieldmeet.com to check out the video and to register if you're going to come. It's free, but I would like to know how many people are going to be there. It's mindfieldmeet.com.
We'll have it right here.
Everybody's welcome.
Right there.
All kinds of RC stuff, cars, fixed wing, helicopters, anything. Bring the kids. The whole town really
shows up.
They love it. It's Brownsville, Tennessee, which is about 45 minutes east of Memphis. So if you're going to fly in, you can fly into Memphis. Or if you have a helicopter, you can just land right there. We'll clear out a spot for you.
And all that metal doesn't cause a problem with the RF?
No, a lot of people ask me that over the years. It really doesn't. It matters not.
Okay, good.
It doesn't. Good. And these days with the drones, the way they are, it doesn't even mess with the compasses.
Well, I'm going to come down there with a couple of cameras and do some stuff and interview some people and say, hey, look, this is the coolest thing. You got to come back. And we'll continue to promote you and promote MindField for sure for the next month.
We've got a lot of prizes. Now, I'm not going to list all my sponsors. You can go to MindField. And the sponsors don't pay. What the sponsors do is they send product for prizes. So I make zero money. I don't even make money from the sponsors. So they just send prizes for all of you. And this year, I am putting a few prizes on the sculpture itself. I had a buddy 3D print these loops, and I'm going to zip tie the prizes, and they have magnets on them. We're going to put them on the sculpture, and then we're going to put a dowel on the front of your drone. We can strap it, and then you go and scoop up the prize.
So the first one that gets to the point is the winner?
I don't know if we're going to have a big joust with a whole bunch of them, because that
would think everybody would be going, like you say, on your market said go, and 30 drones go for the same loop.
We might do that one time for a big prize, but I think we'll just send somebody up one at a time.
Gotcha.
I don't know. I haven't tested it yet, but I'm sure
maybe a lottery allowing you the opportunity to go first or second. Maybe I'm throwing it out there.
I don't want to make it too organized. That's when drone meets become too organized. That's when the fun dwindles. This is just. And now we're going to have flight lines, so it's not going to be absolute anarchy, but
sure,
it's just people hanging out. We don't have any events. We don't have any speakers. It's just you come and talk and chit chat and mix and mingle.
And the weather's going to be 75 degrees and beautiful, right?
Well, no, this is in the middle of August in Tennessee. It's going to be pure hell. Yes, it's it.
Well, Ken, it's been really an honor to have you on the show. I'm telling you, we are so pleased as we've had some really wonderful quality guests, and you are right there at the top of the heat. And I really appreciate your time. You're great. No, you're great. And I look forward to coming there and meeting you in person for once.
Yeah.
And we'll probably see you even at Crash Castle or Castle Crash.
Castle
what is
Crash,
it called?
yeah. Where are you located?
Crash.
Where are you guys?
I'm in Richmond, Virginia. Virginia. And we have a lot of good people in this area. Like I say, I might have even told you on the phone before. I have a friend of mine that used to work for me. He works for Scottio now as an engineer. Scott Strimple, you might know. Scott works for United Airlines, but he's also been involved with the FAA and helping put together all the rules and regulations over the years. And we've had just kind of an amazing number of people who are highly qualified who live right in the area. Doing things. So
wonderful.
Yeah.
Well,
so again,
when you talk to your FAA friend again, have him do a little nudge for shielded operations.
Shielded operations,
where it's it'd be especially good for FPV people, because what that is you're allowed to fly no higher than the tallest object in any space. So if you're in a field and there's a tree, no higher than the tree. It just makes sense, because a plane is not going to be down that tree
inside of that space.
It's called shielded operations. But may I say one more thing before we go?
Absolutely. Promote anything you'd like. This is why we have you.
I would just like to promote the hobby in general. The drone community is filled with so many wonderful people, and I have a lot of people that I consider close friends. And the drone hobby is not only fun, but it's great for your mental health. There's so many people that have been going through addiction or mental health issues that have been able to be focused by either building drones or just flying drones or being a part of the community and talking to others that are sharing that same issue. And next time on TNL, my live stream, that's in a couple weeks, I'm going to have a guy from the Netherlands who will be speaking to that and how drones helped cure him of his heroin addiction. It'll be a serious topic, but he's a funny guy and he's got a cool Dutch accent, so that'll be fun. So
and I'm not even trying to be funny, but just the concept of getting high in a different way, right? I mean, it's kind of a way we could play upon that very simply, very easily. It's perfect, right?
Absolutely. Yes. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again for having me on.
Thank you, Ken. And you know what? Because you've been such a wonderful guest, I'm going to send you some of our things like our points of interest stickers, our I Fly Drone stickers, and even an I Fly Drones keychain.
Oh, no way. I get swag?
You get swag.
You're
just
the best.
for being a part
Here, applause for you. All right.
Thank you. All right, Ken. Thank you so much. I look forward to meeting you in person. And thanks again. Bye now.
And bye.
So there you go. That's Ken Heron. What'd you think?
Oh yeah, that's expected of him. He's a great guy. He's more of a comedian, very entertaining and very informative.
Love to watch.
When I watch his show, I watch it from beginning to end.
Yeah.
And most of the time, other people's show, I just try to find
something entertaining,
something that I can get info and leave. But he draws you in.
He does. Yeah. And always interesting content. Just for instance, the other day he flew a 2,000-foot tower. Okay, with FPV, and they were diving down that. They had guys on the tower. I'll put some of the links to all his stuff worth checking out. He got to fly underground and, for a mile tunnel underground. He's the last guy and the first guy to ever do that.
How do you go about doing that?
Well, because he's so famous in the area.
No, but how do you get the signal?
Oh, yeah. That's going to be tough. I think it was probably the tunnel was concrete, and he had pretty much a straight shot.
Okay, so it's straight away.
Yeah.
It's not,
so it worked out for him.
That's insane.
Guys, the other things you see, there's one of his things is farting in a Lamborghini. I mean, this is entertainment. He's fly through fire.
I've been in a Lamborghini once, and I held my fart.
Well, that's a good idea. Yeah. And of course, he's been chased by police dogs and trying to fly a drone at the same time. I mean, this is the kind of stuff, it's comedy gold. So one of the great things that Ken talks about at the end, and I want us to go, I'm planning on going to the 2 events in late August. One of them, and they're all listed here, is the Crash the Castle, and that's in South Carolina. He's going to be out there, so get to meet him in person there, and maybe further the interview. I forgot, I got kind of starstruck. Sorry, Ken, I got starstruck and forgot to ask one of my most important questions was, do you have a drone tattoo? Have you seen Ken's arms?
Oh, yes.
He's got cool tattoos,
For sure he has one, but probably can't show it.
Yeah. Ken, you have to get back to us about that if you do. I bet he does. I'm going to get DJI right here on the side of my arm. But anyway, and of course, MindField, which is near Nashville, which is a crazy place, and he gets a lot of people come out there. That is a totally free event, too, and you got to go out there and do that. And again, we'll meet some other drone folks. I'm going to take my cameras with me. I'll probably come back home with 4 or 5.
What? I would like to go there and bring some of my product, maybe.
Yeah.
Introduce some of our product to these people.
That would be awesome. Well, we'll do that. And again, thanks so much, Ken, for taking your time to do this interview with us. And now it's time to move on to our news stories. All right, my news story today is about the delivery drones having one more hurdle that we didn't expect. You want to guess what that is?
Regulations?
No. Guys with guns.
Guys with guns.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So apparently, in Lake County, Florida, a guy by the name of Dennis Wynn, who apparently is a pretty good shot, pulled out a 9mm and shot at a Walmart drone from 75 feet.
Is this with a handgun?
Just a 9mm handgun.
That's a lucky shot. There's no way.
Is it lucky? Probably, or maybe it's a good shot. I don't know. He kind of brags about it on the video.
Well, self-defense, sir. Being of legal mind, say, I didn't mean to hit it.
Sure. Well, you hope you did hit it because the bullet could have gone anywhere. But anyway, it got home. The Walmart drone actually got back to Walmart's center, and it was one of the people there discovered that it had a hole in it, had a gunshot through it.
And they played back the video and saw that?
And apparently that's how they caught the guy.
Wow.
So he was arrested. No word yet of what he'll be charged with, but of course, that one of the things that we've been talking about for a while is you cannot shoot on any aircraft, no matter what the size, right?
Yeah, it's federal law. It's a federal offense.
Yep, Section 32 in the aviation guides.
Oh, yeah.
It says that's a federal offense, and he could get charged with that.
Police can't even do that.
No.
So.
Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We'll keep you up to breast on that. So, what's your news story today?
My news story is a secret DJI product that came out of nowhere. Well, it's been a week now, and
secret?
It was at one point. It came out of nowhere.
Okay.
You know, so DJI is really good at perfecting their battery and also miniaturizing their motors, and so they're also really good at doing the GPS information is so accurate.
Sure. Yeah.
So the most logical step is they're going to try to find different branches to get into. So DJI is doing a powertrain for e-bikes. E-bikes, back in the days when the hoverboard was around, was this lucky thing that you buy aftermarket battery pack that you pack onto the...
Sure. I remember those back in the 60s. There actually was a version of this in the 60s.
Yeah.
Went to your wheel, turned.
Exactly.
And you push the wheel. And,
But this one is actually integrated into the frame of the bike. DJI they have this shell company, it's called Inflow. But their intention is just to sell the hardware and the software and the battery needed for any company to pick it up.
So it doesn't matter what bike you have, you could just attach this to it.
Exactly. Well, at manufacturing stage. So if you were Trek or if you were Cannondale, you want to extend the range. But then in my mindset, I'm like, you know what? I guess that is logical. But if you're a sportsman, you don't want to be assisted in in the range. You want to exercise. You want to put all your energy into it. And so what's logical? I think DJI will probably integrate this into military, law enforcement, and search and rescue.
Sure. Or lazy guys like that.
Or lazy guys, casual. But this is not cheap. This product right here is over $8,000.
Oh,
at least
wow.
for Inflow.
Okay.
But you're able to track.
So you take a $2,000 bike and it becomes a $10,000 bike.
Yeah, but it's very beautiful. You can't tell it's an e-bike. And instead of having a motor in the back that help push you through, it assists you. So when you pedal, it assists you if you need it.
Gosh.
It's insane.
That's
and it has
good.
like
And
GPS
those are
tracking.
out already?
You can order right now for $8,000. Again, I don't think DJI is interested in selling the bike. They're selling the systems for other manufacturer to get into.
Right.
But I have a feeling it's going to integrate into search and rescue.
That's cool. Cool stuff. Yep. All right. Well, that's great stuff. Let's take a look at our Prak's tips.
Gary.
Yes.
What is, I have a repair company.
Yep.
And
I
I've been
repair
getting...
indeed.
Exactly. One of the biggest drone that I get all the time that comes in is, believe it or not, the Mavic Mini.
Sure. Very popular.
Very popular, very affordable. And these schools, these high school, and your show last week talked about how they have camps for these kids. And a lot of these instructors, they do not know that, they don't know if they think that regular prop maintenance is all they need. And so, believe it or not, most people don't know that these props, they spin some clockwise, the other counterclockwise, and so that's how it stay balanced.
Sure.
And so with these mini drones, each prop is actually pitched to a certain direction. So if you put the wrong prop into the wrong side,
right, it's not as obvious as the old Phantoms, which had a gray line.
Exactly. You can't put it in. But now or the Mavics, you have the white circle and the non-circle. That's how you attach it. But these ones, they don't have any such thing. But however, there is. DJI created these little markings onto the props. I mean, if you see the prop right here, as I'm showing you, the one with the notch on it, the one with this half crest onto the prop, that is the counterclock.
I have never, until you pointed that out, I've never noticed that.
It's the major cost. When people replace their prop onto their drone, they end up having it flip over or crash because they did not properly put the right prop in. So you can see the notch right here, the half crest with the half crest notch on the prop.
So the notch is right there on the arm.
Exactly. Okay. So if you follow, see the clockwise one won't have any. It's smooth.
That's a great tip.
So if you follow this, you won't make the mistake and crash a $300 or $400 drone.
Yeah, and that's huge.
Pretty simple.
Because, like I say, the old ones were really obvious.
Yeah, you can't put it in.
You couldn't make the turn unless you had the right one
Exactly.
on.
This one you have to unscrew.
But this one has screws, and the screws would fit either way.
Yeah, so if you follow this simple tip when you replace the prop.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
But that's all I got.
All right. Well, it's time for more cool drone stuff. All right. This week on the cool stuff, I got a little thing. And then, by the way, I bought this again, like some of my stuff, I got off of Amazon. And this is a little, these are like, I call them shoes, for lack of a better word. They look like a pair of shoes.
It's 3D printed using a, it's a 3D printer. You can see the texture, but it's really well made.
So the concept is, if you have an AVATA, they are so low to the ground. When it comes down, if you land in grass, you're cutting grass. You're damaging that. I got a bunch of hair in it one time when I landed, which is really funny. I don't know where the hair came from. But so they came up with these little items here. We'll get a close-up of it. And you can see that helps you when you click them on to get a little bit extra height. But
I can see some benefits.
It's not enough. Yeah. I think you've got an idea of improving upon this.
I do. I see some benefit in having this also. You notice if this is low to the ground, guess what happens? If you have something that has any kind of length to it and flexibility, it can actually
jam inside
here. So putting this thing definitely does help.
It covers it.
It covers it a little bit. Yeah. But I have an improvement.
But it's not getting it up out of the grass.
Yeah. I mean, if you have a well cut grass, but if you're landing in an open field, you need about 3 inches. I think one way to do this is to actually mod this. I might do that modification myself. Is to have a hole, drill a hole one end to the other with a bendable carbon fiber rod.
Right.
Extend it, fold it over to this side. Okay. And then you have the bounce also, and it's light enough.
So that's even cooler drone stuff. We're going to put that together, and hopefully we can bring it back to the next show or a couple shows from now, and show us an improvement upon
this product,
the AVATA 2 drone shoe.
Yeah. And if you're interested, we probably have some to sell on our website.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, once again, I'm Gary.
I'm Prak.
And we're certainly glad you came by and joined us today. And folks, have a great week. We'll see you next time, and fly safe. For the show this week.
Yeah.
Hey,
I love that. Ho, that drone is flying low.